Let's go to Yasser in Mitcham. Yasser, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Very well. How can I help you?
I just wanted to know, because obviously, as a Muslim, we celebrate Eid twice a year. And me and my wife, we both work in the school environment. And when we ask for time off for Eid, because it's a religious celebration for Muslims, we struggle to get that time off. And plus, we face some kind of hostility from our employers, because obviously sometimes it falls during the school term time and like during a school day. But I just want to know, can they refuse us time off, because it is a religious occasion, and I just wanted to know where we stand on that.
Okay, so you're just going to have to help me with this. How many days a year off do you normally want for Eid?
It's just a day.
Just a day?
The one day, because obviously Eid, it's not like Christmas. It doesn't fall on a set day. It all depends on the month and the moon sighting, so it's always different. That's the problem. Yeah.
Am I right? You normally need to request holiday with quite short notice, because until the moon is sighted, you don't know exactly when it's going to be.
We do give them an idea of it's going to be on this day or this day, because obviously once Ramadan starts, we get an idea of what day it might fall on.
Yeah.
But obviously, if it's on a weekend, then obviously there's no need to ask for time off. But
understood.
If it falls on a weekday, yeah.
And just let me clarify, are you asking them to take a day of your paid annual leave entitlement, or are you asking them for an extra day off?
Well, we've given them both options. We said, if you can give us a day off, then it's good and well. But even if it's unpaid, we're happy to take it off. But even that, we struggle to get it, or sometimes like.
Right, but are you offering them to take it out of your paid annual leave allowance? That's the question I'm.
Yeah, definitely, we do. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the law. You're not really going to like this answer, I'm afraid, Yasser. Everybody gets 5.6 weeks off for annual leave. Teachers get more, but that's the legal minimum. But the law says the employers are allowed to set the dates. I know employers always request dates, but employers are allowed to say yes or no to the requests as long as they give the full 5.6 weeks in the year. Now, schools, as a matter of course, require teachers or people who work at schools to take their paid annual leave during school holidays. And there are very good and obvious reasons for that, as I'm sure you agree. You are affected by that as somebody who celebrates Eid. Unlike people with disabilities, where an employer has a duty to make reasonable adjustments for them, there is no legal duty for an employer to make reasonable adjustments for people's religion or religious beliefs. So the employer doesn't have to treat you differently from every other employee because you're Muslim. They don't have to give you a particular day off because it is required by your religion. It is just about arguable, and by that I mean 20% maybe, if that refusing to give you paid annual leave days over Eid, if you request them when they fall into school term time, is indirect discrimination on grounds of your religion. In other words, the rule will only allow everybody to take annual leave during school holidays, but enforcing that rule rigorously, try that word again, rigorously, impacts more on Muslims than it does on non-Muslims, so it indirectly discriminates against Muslims. Now, that's a credible argument, but employers are allowed to defend indirect discrimination claims if they can show a good business reason for the rule and that they can't easily get round it and make adjustments. So if your employer can show it... did you say you were a teacher, Yasser, or doing something else?
No, I work in transport, and my wife works in the catering department.
In the school?
Yeah, in the school.
Okay. If the school can show that it needs you there and can't reasonably easily cover you on those days, it's going to have a defence to an indirect discrimination claim. If it can't show that, if you say I'm easily replaceable, which may not be a place you want to go, but if you argue I'm easily replaceable and a judge accepts that, then you'll win an indirect discrimination claim if the school could easily put someone else in to cover you on Eid. Okay. But I don't know the answer to how easy it would be to replace you on those days.
Well, where my wife works, obviously it's a big catering and they have like people all over the place, and they can easily cover with like when they have to, they can do it all the time. Like they get people from agencies to cover all the time when somebody even falls sick. So I was just thinking, if they can do it at that time.
Yeah, I mean,
why won't they be able to do it?
agency workers aren't a complete answer because, of course, agency workers cost a lot more.
Yeah,
they're basically paying
when they need it, they can arrange it.
Of course they can. Yeah. When they need it because someone's sick, they have to. But it still costs them a day of extra salary for somebody plus agency fees.
Well, we even offered to take it unpaid as well.
Yeah, but
we don't need to get paid for it.
Okay. I mean, that's a stronger point. There would still be extra costs because they'd have to pay the agency fee on top of a day's salary. But that's a stronger argument for you. Yes, sir. I just had a voicemail from Abdul saying refusal of time off for Eid is one of the highest injustices against Muslims in this country. And yes, I think it is an injustice. I agree. But it's a difficult claim to bring and win. Yes, sir.